Welcome to the discussion of 2018 June Edexcel IAS accounting paper. This session of examination has been easy on average, with the grade boundaries being quite normal. This paper consists of questions from the lessons of financial statements of a sole trader, costing, profit reconciliation, ledger accounting, ratio analysis, non-profit making businesses, inventory valuation, and partnerships. Section B of the paper comprises of 4 questions, out of which you should attempt 3. Now we will be taking a look at question 4 of these choices. As always, read the question first and identify the key points of the question. The key points that can be gathered from this question are: first, this question is from the lesson of non-profit making organizations. The scenario given here is Keystoke Sports Club faced a break-in and theft attack recently when they lost some cash from the manager's office and sports equipment from the shop. Having understood the key points, now read the requirements of the question. Part A asks us to state 2 differences between a club and a sole trader business. Since the question asks us to state, we should only write the 2 differences without any explanations. Here are some of the possible differences you can consider for this. First, a club is normally a non-profit making organization. However, a sole trader business is always a profit motive one. Secondly, the club is funded by the accumulated fund, which indicates the net assets. This is usually the accumulation of the subscription income and donations. But a sole trader business is usually funded by owners' investments, known as capital mainly. Third, any additional earnings of the club that are remained after spending for all relevant expenses is known as surplus. This belongs to the club members, whereas in a sole trader business, all the profit belongs to the sole trader. A club is normally formed with the pursuit of mutual interest rather than that of trading, but a sole trader business is formed with the prime motive of trading to generate profit. Considering the decision-making aspect, in a club it is handled by the committee, whereas in a sole trader business, decision-making is done by the owner. Next, clubs prepare the receipts and payments account to record all cash in and out of the business, whereas sole trader business prepares the cash book or bank account to record these transactions. Finally, the excess income of a club is calculated by the preparation of the income and expenditure account, which enables them to calculate the surplus or deficit. But in a sole trader business, the income statement is used to calculate the profit or loss of the business. Part B of the question asks us to calculate the value of the cash stolen from the manager's office on 27th April 2018. This answer can be found either using the cash account or manually using addition and subtraction where necessary. Let us see the account method first. First, draw up a cash account. It will be a simple T account. Now go through the question from the beginning and gather all information related to the cash account. It is easy if you underline or highlight these points before entering them into the cash account. When entering them to the cash account, please note that the cash account is an asset account. Therefore, any increase is debited and any decrease is credited. So, first, the opening balances of cash will be recorded on the debit side of the cash account. Next, record all the cash receipts and payments that took place between 1st and 27th April 2018. In this case, the cash received includes receipts from hire charges and subscriptions paid by the members. Thereby, we should debit these 2 figures in the cash account. Next, credit all the cash payments made. These include wages, cleaning, cash refund made to customer, and sundry payments. After entering all of them, we should balance off the account. The balancing figure is the cash stolen. This is because all the cash that was remaining on 27th April in the manager's office was stolen. The alternative way to find this figure is to use the following table. So, having identified the relevant figures in above, let us enter them and find the cash stolen. Having found the stolen cash amount, Part C asks us to calculate the value of the sports equipment stolen. To find these, go through the question again and identify the information available on sports equipment. Either underline or highlight them. Having identified them, we can calculate the stolen equipment value using the sports shop trading account or manually via addition and subtractions. First, let us consider them manually. In this case, the same logic applied for the stolen cash should be used. The balance of equipment on 1st April should be added to the equipment purchased between 1st and 27th April. Then, the cost of the equipment sold should be subtracted from this. The reason why we should consider the cost in this case is always the stocks will be valued at cost or net realizable value, whichever is lower of the two. To do this, we should make use of the gross profit margin. Accordingly, the profit portion within the sales value is 25% of the sales value. Once this is removed from the sales value, we get the cost of the equipment sold. Thereafter, we should remember the fact that there was some equipment left after the theft, so we should subtract it. This will give us the value of equipment stolen. The alternative way to find the answer is to prepare the equipment trading account and enter the respective figures we highlighted before. So, recording them in order, first we have the opening inventory. Next, we have the sales and purchases followed by the closing inventory. Now, in order to calculate the stolen equipment, we should work backward in the trading account. So, first calculate the gross profit. This is 25% of the sales value. Next, calculate the stolen equipment by working backward from the cost of sales. So, subtract the opening inventory and purchases from the cost of sales, and then add the closing inventory. This will give you the value of stolen equipment. Accordingly, we can find information 7 useful. This states that the club is insured for the theft of any amount except for the first 200 of any claim for stolen cash. So, the insurance claim will be the total of the stolen cash and equipment minus 200. Next, Part E of the question asks us to prepare the journal entry to record the insurance claim. In this case, since the claim is made to the sports insurance company, from whom we should receive 1,400 as claim, we should debit it. This is because sports insurance company becomes another receivable to us. Next, this claim is to compensate the stolen inventory of cash and sports equipment. Thereby, we have to credit both sports equipment inventory and the cash account. The narrative will be the submission of insurance claim for theft of cash and insurance on 27th of April 2018. The next part of the question asks us to prepare a statement showing the profit or loss on the hire of the function room for 3 months ended 31st March 2018. So, to do this question, let us draw the income statement for the function room. In this case, it is a service sector business, so there will be no inventories or purchase details. Now, start entering the figures. Take the first piece of information. Accordingly, the function room will charge 250 per day and is hired 5 days in January, 4 days in February, and 6 days in March. Thereby, the revenue from hire of the function room will be 250 multiplied by the total number of days for which the function room is hired. That is 250 multiplied by 15 days. Next, the second information talks about expenses of the function room. Considering each of them, first, rates should be recorded as expenses in the income statement. In this case, 2,340 is for 900 square meters. So we should calculate the value for 150 square meters. Next, we should take wages. In this case, only 20% of this figure is relevant for the function room. In the case of advertising, 75% of the advertising figure is relevant for the function room. Considering about heating, it will be 40 multiplied by the number of days of hiring, so it will be 40 into 15. Moving on to the third piece of information, we should calculate the depreciation. In this case, considering logically, when the opening valuation is added with the purchased fixtures and disposals are subtracted, we get the valuation of fixtures at 31st March before any depreciation. This is 4,900. The difference between this figure and the closing valuation of fixtures will be the depreciation. Finally, we should calculate the profit in the income statement, which concludes part F. Last part of the question asks us to evaluate the member's proposal to discontinue the hire of the function room. In this case, since it is for 6 marks, we should discuss 1.4 and against, with at least one cause and effect point for each. Along with this, a strong conclusion is required. We should also consider both financial and non-financial factors when making the decision. Here is a sample answer that can give you 6 marks here. If the function room is discontinued, the cost of the overall business expenses can be reduced. This applies especially in terms of wages and advertising, because 20% of total wages are for the function room and 75% of total advertising expense is for the function room. Further, the function room has made a loss of 200 during the last 3 months. Thereby, if we close it down, we can eliminate this loss. However, closing the function room leads to additional costs such as redundancy payments and also the social costs, which can harm the reputation of the whole club. Further, the function room can be a reason for some members to be a part of the club. So, if it closes down, the other activities of the club can get affected negatively. Also, there are some overheads which might not reduce just because the function room closes down. In conclusion, it is better to keep the function room going, but steps should be taken to improve its performance. The yellow highlights are the fresh points in this case, whereas the green ones indicate the cause and effect points. Bringing the discussion of the 2018 June IAS accounting question 4 into an end, stay tuned for the next question, which is on the topic of inventory valuation. Do not forget to share this video with your friends and help them at their exams. Click subscribe to see more of such videos. Good luck at your examinations. If any queries or requests for personalized videos, do comment below. Any person who doesn't have access to the 2018 June question paper can now access using the link given in the video description. Have a great day.